of impunity will prevail as long as Noynoy Aquino government continues the counterinsurgency operation plan of Gloria Macapagal-Arroyo administration. In just 1.5 years of Noynoy Aquino's presidency, we have another gross case of impunity. There are 64 victims of extrajudicial, summary, and arbitrary killings under the U.S. Aquino regime from July 2010 to October 31, 2011. On the average, this would mean one extrajudicial killing per week. There are more than 350 political prisoners currently under the Pinoy administration, more than 100 victims of illegal arrests and detention, more than 6,000 victims of demolitions, of 51 cases of torture, more than 4,000 victims of forcible evacuations. There are 9 cases of enforced disappearance, 3 of whom are activists or human rights defenders. More than 800 victims of violent dispersals of mass actions. The profile of human rights violations under Aquino's presidency is hardly different from that of GMA's. Aside from extrajudicial killings and enforced disappearances, most significant are torture, arbitrary arrest, illegal detention, demolition of urban communities, forced evacuation of rural villages, destruction of properties, threats, harassment, intimidations, indiscriminate firing, restriction of violent dispersal of mass actions, public assemblies and gatherings, and use of schools and other public places for military purposes. Oplan Bayanihan retains GMA's Oplan Bantaylayas framework of state terrorism patterned after the United States counterinsurgency guide. The AFP is desperate to break free from its image as a human rights violator, especially during the Arroyo regime. Thus, for the end time, the Oplan Bayanihan includes among its strategic concept the security sector reform. The Oplan Bayanihan handbook states that efforts shall be geared towards its capability development, the professionalization of its ranks, and the involvement of stakeholders in AFP initiatives. But the continuing political killings of activists and human rights violations belie these statements from the AFP. Reported incidents of human rights violations show that the very presence of the military in communities endanger these civilians. Under the Office of the President, the OPAP is at the forefront of the counterinsurgency program. All these documented incidents only indicate one thing: human rights violations continue under the U.S. Aquino regime. The first 6 months of Noynoy Aquino's administration, when he extended Oplan Baytaylaya, set the stage of things to come under his rule. Rightly, so the trainings and propaganda offensive regarding Oplan Bayanihan's supposed paradigm shift to peace and development cannot hide its brutality and state terrorism. At the end of the day, the mercenary nature of the AFP rears its ugly head.